Hey guys, I'm back with a Mr. Nightmare video for you guys today. I just woke up like 12 minutes ago. I'm like dead right now. I was basically up till 7 and then I woke up at 1, so like 6 hours, not even 6 hours because I didn't actually sleep the full 6 hours, but yeah. I'm tired and I have to be up today. So, you know, and I need to do some videos too and clean the washroom and just do some chores and shit. And just other stuff, so, you know how life is. 3 True Scary Horror Stories by Mr. Nightmare. This was released a couple days ago at the time I'm recording this, of course. I'm going to start this now. Don't want to waste too much time, just want to kind of get it over with in a sense. Enjoy it, but I want to get it over with in a sense too. I also want to get these 2 done so I can do my other stuff that I have to do as well. Because like I said, I do have like other shit to do as well. Not that YouTube's not. Okay, you guys know what I mean. I'm just busy, okay? Thank you. But yeah, this doesn't have a specific genre, just horror stories. There's not a specific topic. And this is the shortest video I found, and I was like, I'm not watching a 20-minute video right now, so I was like 13, that'll suffice. So, not that I don't mind the longer videos, but just not right now. Narrated in first person. Okay.
When my dad was around 50, he got an African Grey. He always loved parrots his whole life, so I was happy for him to get one after his retirement. He named the bird Kevin. My dad taught Kevin a whole vocabulary of words, and he actually trained him to understand the meaning behind certain words, like hello, what's up, food, thank you, good, and a few others.
That's great.
My dad passed away at 70, and with that came the time to figure out amongst my siblings and I what would happen to Kevin. My brother and sister didn't want the responsibility of taking Kevin into their homes. Plus, their spouses were against it too. But I couldn't bear the idea of giving him away to a new home. Kevin was and is one of my last connections to my dad. In a sense, that was his best friend. So I decided I would take him into my home. I put his cage in the den of my house. My house doesn't have a basement, so the den is considered the lowest level of the house. Kevin is a moderately noisy bird. He could be a chatterbox some hours of the day, usually earlier on. But later in the day and at night, he quiets down. When he's too noisy, I'll throw a blanket over his cage, and that normally quiets him down. I watch TV in the den at night to keep him company. Then around 10, I'll migrate to my room to let him go to sleep. That's pretty much the backstory behind Kevin. I've been taking care of him for 2 years now, so I know exactly how he behaves and when he's acting out of the ordinary. Speaking of out of the ordinary, there was one night in December around 11 p.m. that Kevin started making sounds while I was trying to sleep. I sleep with the door open since I live alone and need to be able to hear anything if something's going on in the house. Hearing him making his squawking noises past dark, especially this late at night, was unusual beyond doubt, and something was irritating him. I went down to the den to see what was bothering him. He was wide awake on the lower perch of the 2 in the cage. He looked at me and was saying things like hello and what's up, and his name. All the while he was nodding his head up and down, moving his whole body in the process as if he were dancing. I tried to feed him, but he didn't eat, so I covered him with a blanket, hoping he would stop. I was in the kitchen when I stopped inside, because he was still making the noises, and I had a feeling he wasn't going to stop. Having worked the next day, I couldn't afford to lose sleep because of him. I really didn't know what to do. I'm still to this day not exactly a bird expert. I went back downstairs and uncovered him. He was still doing his little dance, bobbing his head and body and making his distressed sounds. It didn't click with me, until thinking I heard something in the pantry closet a few feet away from his cage. I walked over to it, and hovered my hand over the light switch to the pantry, which was outside of the door. The door has one of those big glass panels that many pantry doors have, so when I flicked the light switch, I saw the outline of a body on the inside. My fight or flight response kicked in, and I chose fight. I opened the door screaming, trying to get my adrenaline rushing. I grabbed the man in the pantry closet out and threw him to the floor.
Damn.
He tried to fight back, but I easily overpowered him and had him in what I could best describe as a chokehold. He was a 50-something-year-old homeless-looking man with a smell to match it. I yelled at him, "Who are you? Why are you in my house?" He tried grabbing my face to possibly gouge my eyes or something, but I continued to wring his neck and punch him. During all this, Kevin was going berserk in his cage. When the man on the floor seemed weak enough, I literally sprinted for the nearest phone and came right back and kept him on the ground while I called 911. The man was taken to jail, but He had no ID on him, nothing. He was homeless and had nothing to his name, and as such he was considered what some people call judgment-proof, meaning even if I tried to sue him, I wouldn't get anything from him. He had raided my pantry closet that night and had opened jars of peanut butter, boxes of cookies and crackers, and all sorts of other boxed and canned foods. If it weren't for my dad's parrot, I don't know what else that man would have taken or done in my house. I'm grateful for Kevin, and I like to think part of my dad is watching over me and that bird.
That was a sweet story, not gonna lie to you guys. Now the whole thing about the homeless thing, like obviously there's a lot of homeless people in my city too. I'm pretty sure every city there's like a lot of homeless. But it's sad, you know what I mean? Like for me, it just gets me like really sad, you know what I mean? Like yesterday I was like jamming out because it was Saturday night for me. Again, at the time I'm filming this, it's now Sunday. So yesterday was Saturday, obviously. And Saturday night I was like jamming out, like Despacito came on the radio and I was jamming the fuck out. Like my friend was like snapping, like I obviously wasn't holding my phone or anything because I was driving, but he was, you know, doing that. And I was like dancing and singing while also driving, obviously. Just carefully, of course. And I was just jamming the fuck out, and then I passed by some homeless people, and I kind of like go to them, kind of like while singing, I was kind of like, and then just like looking at them, kind of like sad, right? That's kind of my point, and it's just sad because like that's always been like one of my biggest fears is being homeless, and honestly that's a terrifying thought, like just having no home, no one to even turn to. That's just a scary thought in my opinion. Just having no family, no one that can take you in for a few months until you get back on your feet, for example. Like it's sad, it's scary, you know what I mean? Like, you really can't blame someone for going into your house to try to get some food. Like, it's not that he tried to cause you any harm, right? It's just but he was in your house, so you obviously had all rights to defend you and your bird in your house, right? That's your house. So of course you have the right to defend it. It's just that, you know, it's sad. Like I feel bad for the homeless guy. You know, like getting peanut butter, canned food. He's hungry, man. Like, you know, like your survival instincts kick in, and you're like, well, I gotta eat or else I'm gonna fucking die. So I guess I'm gonna break into this house, you know. So it's sad, but that's the sad reality, right? Like everything is so expensive nowadays, and it's just like it's crazy.
This story takes place when I was a junior in high school. For context, here's a little background information. Back in the day, I was a pretty involved student, took all the hard classes, and was in a few varsity sports.
Okay.
In one of these ways, I was always busy and didn't have much time for myself, and part of me was thankful for that. It provided me an escape from a world where my parents had recently parted ways and my older brother had just gone to college. It was just me and my little brother then. He also was a swimmer and a smart kid in his own right. We were really similar, even to this.
Mr. He's in college, and wait, how old's the younger brother? Like, is that like a young where you have to take care of him, like 9, 8, or is that your age or almost your age? Like, I don't know what to think.
But probably because of the stresses our family situation put on us at the time, we didn't get along, near at all. One of those wet winter days in the Midwest, I put in my time at school and swim, and I still had to sit down for several hours of homework. This time I had to write an essay for some advanced class that I wasn't really interested in.
Ew.
I dropped my swim bag at the door when I got home and looked around my house to see if anyone was home. Empty. Dad must be out with Reese at swim practice. His club team had the slot at the pool after the high school team was done. I popped in a mouthful of Cheez-Its and headed down to the basement to my office to get some schoolwork done.
Office?
The house was a middle-class 2-story with an unfinished basement, with the exception of what I referred to as my office. From a career past, my dad used to work from home, but no longer did. I was the only one who used this place, so my family, or what was left of it, just called it Quinn's office. So I made my way across the concrete floors and unattached carpet samples down there to the one finished-out room in the basement. I flicked on the CFL light. It was like any other night after practice.
Why did you have to mention CFL light?
I still had hours of homework to do, so I turned on the computer and started typing away. I was typing for what seemed like an hour, trying to bring to words to what the concept of hedonism and the picture of Dorian Gray meant to me as best I could, or as convincingly as I could.
Yeah, that sounds
Out of the
exciting.
dark, I heard my little brother call out to me, Quinny, come up." Almost reflexively, I called back to him, "Reese, I'm working, what do you need?" We would yell through the house like brothers do, but it took me a minute to realize I didn't hear him come home. I got no response, only for a couple minutes.
Yeah, that's not Reese.
Stuff. Again, I heard my little brother's voice sing out, "Quinny, Quinny, come up." It felt strange hearing those words carry across the dark, concrete floor. He's supposed to be at swim practice. I called back out to him, asking if he needed anything, but again, I received no answer. I thought about just starting my essay again, but the family situation was delicate at best, and I didn't want to be in trouble if my little brother actually needed something. I made the decision to get up and go find out for myself. I bounded up the basement staircase, the only way a high schooler can, and I called out again for my brother.
Okay.
Reese,
Oh, oh yeah. Like he said, he's in high school. Yeah. So his little brother was probably a bit younger, at least elementary school or something. Because I was wondering, because like you have to take care of him too, right? Because if you can't. Oh, I know, because like because your dad. No, because like your dad is still there. It's just that they're separated. I think, right? For some reason, I thought they were like. When he said it's just me and my little brother, I thought that was like just him and his little brother like living together. So I was like, oh, so you have to take care of your brother too. So I don't know if this is going back or if I'm just stupid and slow because I just woke up. I don't know what's happening, but cool.
What's up? I'm really busy. I checked all around the main floor looking for my little brother or even signs he was home. No shoes, no backpack. So he wasn't home. And there was no car in the driveway either. The only reason my dad would be gone right now would be to pick him up. Satisfied, I turned back for the stairs when I heard my little brother's voice ring out, "Quinny, Quinny, come up."
No, God.
This time every hair in my body stood on end. It just didn't make sense. He had to be at practice, and if he really needed me, he would have come to me. I go to the base of the second floor stairs and called out to him one more time. "Reese, what's going on? Are you okay?" For a minute, no answer. "Reese, I'm really busy. Can you tell me what's up?" It's quiet for way too long as I stared up the dark staircase. Logically, I had no reason to believe anyone was up there, until I heard Reese's voice calmly speak this time and not call out in his sing-song way those same 4 words. "Quinny, Quinny, come up." "What?" I asked under my breath. I couldn't comprehend the situation. I did quick inventory of any probable scenario. Break-in, wrong voice. A prank? I would have seen something at this point. It had to be Reese, and maybe helping him would make me a good brother. So I began up the stairs. My heart pounded with each step, and I was about to make the landing to the dark second floor. Then I heard the buzz of the garage door motor. I ran back down the stairs and looked out the window. It was my father's sedan, and him and my little brother got out. I stumbled from the window to the hall where they would enter, and I felt my heart almost stop beating. I collapsed on the floor and just started to cry uncontrollably.
Well, that's it? What? What happened? Who's in your house? But nothing happened? Like, you're not gonna tell. What? Okay, whatever. I don't like these. No. You gotta tell what happened, but what the fuck? Mike White.
This was like 15 years ago now when I was a kid. I was with my best friend Jackson at some abandoned family resort or bungalow colony type place in New York.
Okay.
It was off a main road and then down a private dirt path driveway entrance.
Right.
It was a rather large property with a bunch of old abandoned buildings, including at least 10 small bungalows, a main hall, a few bathroom stations, and an indoor pool house. Along with that was an outdoor pool, a shuffleboarding area, and a kid's playground. Everything was old, run down, and with tall, overgrown grass growing over it. We found this place accidentally one time walking down Route 209, but we didn't explore it that day. We came back another night. By the time we went, it was past sunset. The sun was kissing the sky goodnight. It was getting very dark, but we didn't want to come during the day in fear of getting caught and getting charged with trespassing.
That's fair.
We brought along
But nighttime, like abandoned area, I'm not going there. Nope.
walkie-talkies
Or
and
sus area.
flashlights with us to communicate to each other when we'd split up.
Damn,
We
even
started
walkie
looking
talkies.
around the bungalows together. Most of them looked the same and were relatively small. 1 or 2 beds each, a small kitchen, and 1 bathroom each. Some of them had these little living room areas. Halfway looking through these bungalows, I split off from Jackson because he was moving kind of slow. I tried to enter the building that looked to be the main hall or office or something, but every entrance was locked. I walkie-talkied Jackson to tell him that the big building was locked. He didn't walkie-talkie back. I wondered if I was out of range from where he was. 2 minutes later, I found myself at one of the 2 bathroom buildings. It was probably a 400 square foot building. There were no doors to the building, though. It was unusual. It just had two big openings, one for the men's room, one for the women's room. I remember the signs being faded and worn out looking. Then I saw these red tracks on the dirty old concrete bathroom floor. Now I'm not going to sit here and say they looked like bloody footprints, but I couldn't explain what these red marks could be then, and I still can't say for certain now. Regardless, it was pitch black inside that bathroom around that corner, and that was the first building I was scared to enter. I tried walkie-talkieing to Jackson again, hoping he was in range this time. I pressed the button on the walkie and said, "Yo, where are you?" When I let go, I heard the beep sound that the receiving walkie makes after getting a message from inside the bathroom. It gave me a near heart attack. Then I thought Jackson must already be in there, hence the red-looking footsteps. I called his name, and it echoed into the bathroom. I was actually about to step into the bathroom thinking he was hiding from me, pranking me, when I heard Jackson's voice call out from the distance behind me, outside in the darkness of the night. I heard him getting closer. Couldn't see him in the dark, but he obviously saw my light, so I yelled back, "I found your walkie-talkie." I started stepping into the bathroom, but then he said back, "Don't go in there, I never went in there." This is when I turned around and hurried right out of there. I pressed and released the talk button really quick on my walkie, pausing the beep again from inside that pitch-black women's room. Jackson and I looked at each other for half a second, then began dashing in the direction we came. We made it back to Route 209 and had to stop to catch our breaths. This is when Jackson told me that inside one of the bungalows he went into, he tried walkie-talkieing me, but I wasn't answering, meaning we must have been out of range. Then he heard a noise from the living area of the bungalow. As he turned around, his flashlight revealed an older woman almost running towards him. He dropped his walkie-talkie and flashlight and ran out from the bungalow. He ran in the dark and hid, refraining from making noise in fear of being followed. He hid for a questionable amount of time before looking around and seeing my flashlight across the field, over at the bathrooms. The most likely explanation to me was that some cracked-out drug addict was hiding or living in that abandoned bungalow and for whatever reason lunged at Jackson and picked up his walkie-talkie. What she was doing in that bathroom, who knows? Maybe drugs, maybe the bathroom in the bungalow didn't work. But what I don't know is why was there a trail of what looked like blood in there? Those are my theories, but I can't explain all of it away. And that's the scariest part.
I feel like it's like really scary when you can't even explain like occurrences that happen. You just can't even explain it. Like you're just like, this is unexplainable, I can't explain it at all. Basically where I work, a door basically opened by itself at 3 in the morning, like 2 to 3 times. It opened just before, like literally 7 seconds before 3 a.m. Like 2:59, and then the second was at 53. It opened 7 seconds on its own before 3 a.m. Just by itself. It just, okay, thank you. And I was like, what? And get this, it's an accessible door, so if you press the button, that's great. There was no one there. We checked the cameras. There was no one in the area. The door opens by itself. And the accessibility switch was literally off. The switch was dead ass not even on. Like, even if it was on automatic, someone has to press it first. No one was in the area. It was off, and it opened by itself, bro. So I was like, I'm not working there. I'm like, no, I'm just joking. I still work there. But I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, that's pretty fucked out and, like, sketchy, because it's like, how do you even explain it? Like, I can't explain that. Not at all. At least if the accessibility thing was switched on, maybe I would think it was just a glitch. But at 3 in the morning? A glitch? Okay. Okay, yeah. I see you. Ghosts. Fuck, it's kind of... if I was awake till, like, 7 a.m. last night, this morning, whatever you want to call it, and if someone just opened by itself, I'm moving out. I'm sorry, I gotta leave. No, I can't do that no more. Just heads up, yes, this is a re-upload of an older video. Okay. I don't even know if I listened to this or not, but the sun was kissing the sky goodnight. That's poetic. If Kevin was a macaw instead of a parrot, his name would be Kevin McAllister. They missed a big time leaving Kevin home alone. Never leave Kevin home alone. Kevin's don't be left home alone. I chose fight. Major props to the guy. I have 1 minute of storage left. I chose fight. Major props to the guy in that first story. In a situation like that, a lot of people's balls would shoot into their stomach and they'd run. Honestly, I do that too. Bye. The first story is heartwarming when Kevin warned. Bless me. Loved how it was never established how the guy got in. Right? The creepy voice in the second story was clearly the homeless guy in the first story trying to lure the guy upstairs so he could sneak into the kitchen and eat more peanut butter. Okay. Possibility, I guess. In the first story, I praised Kevin to actually making noises to warn a potential intruder. That's honestly pretty good, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but my storage is gonna run out, so I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces. Peace.